Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and it's Monday, December 17th, and I have just a wee bit of stitching update for you. I have giveaway winners, and then I thought I would share my plans for January because I don't anticipate coming back to film before the new year. So I thought I would share what my thoughts are on that because I don't really know the order things will be in. So first off, my itty bitty little progress. On Snow Queen, I did just a little bit more. This is what she looked like last time. And here she is now. So you can see I'm working down here in her dress, filling in this second color of white. So these areas have two shades of pale blue, and the last shade will be B5200, and there's more snow on the ground as well. So I realized last time that possibly one of the reasons why it's not really calling to me louder than games on my phone is because it's all white, and that could be part of the problem. But I do hope to finish it this year, and I'll share with you what I hope to do when and if that happens. My cat wants to join me, but I am surrounded by things right now, so we will see if she gives up on that. Alright, I will move this. Oh my! Okay, you're alright. She didn't quite make the jump. She is 15 years old, and so she struggled a little bit coming up here. Here is Storytime Sampler. I did do a little bit on this here and there. Say hi to Kitty. So this is what that looked like before. And here it is now. I finished this both of the frames and got started a little bit more on the white, which was the color I had done before on this one, so I figured I'd just stick with that color and do it all. I'm going to color complete in both November and December, and I really do want to finish this year. It's really, really nice. So that's the little bit I got done on that. And I also worked a little bit on my travel piece in the car, which is September by the Little House Needleworks. And this is what that looked like last time. And here this is now. Yeah, it's better over here. So I finished the dark brown, or the medium brown, and I finished the crab cakes color, which is the border, the peachy color, and I got started a little bit on the orange. So there's a couple orange leaves there. So there's a few more orange leaves on the trees and around, and then the rest is green vines and grass, and then that one will be done. So my plans for the rest of this year are to finish Snow Queen, to finish Storytime Sampler, and to finish September. If that happens, which hopefully it will, I am going to reward myself with a New Year's Eve new start in preparation for, there we go, for No Start 2019. No Starts 2019, I believe is the hashtag that I use. Don't bite me, kitty. So this is a Just Nan chart. It's fairly small. It's got a kitty in it that looks a lot like my kitty. And I don't feel like adding another huge piece to my whip count at the moment, and I have plenty to choose from. But this one is a nice small one, and I would like to do it on this olive green fabric that I got recently, that I'm planning to do the Titania Queen of the Fairies Mirabilia on. It's about a whole yard of fabric, so I have plenty to cut off a little piece to do this on, because this was the what do you call it? Model was stitched on raw linen, but I think a medium green would look a little bit nicer, more like a garden. So that will be my New Year's Eve new start. If I can finish at least two of these, or Snow Queen and Storytime Sampler. If I can finish both of those, I'll allow myself a New Year's Eve new start. So I have good motivation to do it. Because, I don't know, it'll be my last new start for a long time, so I might as well get one in there. Also, if I finish September before the end of the year, I would like to work on December here in December. I'm not crazy about working on a huge house, but I do like the colors that December uses, so it's a lot more festive since it is Christmas season right now. So ideally I can work on this in December. If for some reason September takes me forever to finish the last little bit, I'll probably just move over to October if it's already January or Christmas is over or something. But I would like to be able to get a little bit done on, or get to December here before Christmas. So that would be nice. If I finish Storytime Sampler, I will switch out my home travel piece to the Caterpillar cross stitch. Adventure Awaits Sal, which currently mine looks like this. And I have the clue for North America, but I have not had a chance to work on this yet since it came out. So, almost a month ago, which is really sad. So, that will be my next thing I'll work on to try to finish that up as soon as Storytime Sampler is done for home stitching. If I finish Snow Queen before the end of the year, and I still have things to do, I would like to spend some time on my other two Christmas projects. One of which is the Heirloom Nativity Sampler by Victoria Sampler. And this is what that looks like right now. Here it is. I've got a whole bunch over here. This is on 32 count Dove, but no, not Dove Gray. Something gray linen by MCG Textiles. So this is what that looks like now. It would be fun to get some more of these shepherds, I think, finished. So that would be fun to work on my Christmas piece during the Christmas season. Let's fix my needle here, it's sticking out. And the other thing I would like to work on, if time permits, for Christmas is my Heaven and Earth Designs Nativity, which looks like this right now. I'm going kind of fast because I have a lot to show and not a lot of time to show it in, and I don't really want to have to edit too much to like piece things together and edit a whole lot. But this is what that looks like now. I got a lot of the palm tree finished, so I'll be working more on palm tree right here. I had a year of whip skull to finish this page, but I think it's 2 columns, so that is not happening. But a little bit more love on this would be fun during Christmas time. So those are my plans for the rest of the year. I have all of my January ideas here with me, but I thought I would maybe do the giveaway winners first in case anyone doesn't really care about the January planning. So that is what you may see from me in the next couple weeks. My husband will be home for a week and a half around Christmas and New Year's, so filming a video isn't going to happen. Probably until the second week of January. So we will, you'll just have to wait and see. And if I can get my act together, I'll post on Instagram what I'm working on. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't been on Instagram very much lately. But I figured we can at least do our giveaway. I had a giveaway 2 videos ago to celebrate 4,000 subscribers. Yay, thank you! And to celebrate the release of my new temperature chart, temperature hot air balloons. And I will be stitching this in the coming year as well, so before the end of the year I'll be starting probably this cloud, and I'll be starting this temperature quilt probably up here in the sashing before the end of the year to continue with the spirit of No Stars 2019, even though they're Etsy stitching, model stitching. So that's some more you can be looking for me too. But for the giveaway, the winners can pick their choice of temperature chart from me. I have the regular temperature garden, a high and low temperature garden, which allows for 2 different temperatures on each petal, a temperature quilt or the temperature balloons. So you can pick one of those and I'll email it to you. So I will have my email up on the screen at the end, and then I'll also have my shop linked below and you can contact me through there if that's easier. So here, let's get started. We had 106, so I typed in 1 to 106. I did not press generate yet. Let's see. Can see that better? Okay, so 1 to 106. So let's do generate. 106. So I chose Kelly Bell on 106. So I think I noticed that you wrote temperature, I think it might have been on the wrong video. So if you don't want a temperature chart, let me know and I can pick another number. But if you do, you won. So Kelly Bell is 106. So let's do another generate. 68 is Jacqueline West. Woohoo! I believe she's my Denver Broncos fan. So I'm very excited that you won. And another one is 3. It's always nice when some of the ones on the extremities win. Sheila Bell. And I think you comment a lot too. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You comment a lot, so thank you for that. I love everybody's comments. I feel like whenever I post a video, it's really, really, really fun to start getting the first day or two. You usually get the most comments and everybody's chit-chatting, and especially the faithful, regulars just share that they're thankful for your video and they, appreciate what you have to share, and it's just always encouraging and heartwarming. So that's partly why I'm doing this. So let's do one more for 4,000 subscribers. We're going to do 4 giveaways. Number 11. So that is Leanne Mainville. So Leanne and Sheila, I will highlight these. And Jacqueline and Kelly, if you could email me at stitchinmommy7@gmail.com, let me know your email address and I will email you let me know your email address and which temperature pattern you want, and I will get those emailed out to you. And then I think that's it. So you can either email me at stitchinmommy7@gmail.com, or you can go to my Etsy shop and click contact me and email me through there, and either way works. So that'll be really fun to have you guys stitching along. I also have links below to my Facebook group for my shop, and there's a Facebook, well, there's a page and a group, a Stitch Along with Stitchin' Mommy, and you can share your progress and things like that. So if you're interested in that, you can join those groups. And I will be posting pictures in there as well throughout the year as I work on mine. So it'll be fun to see what everyone else's looks like, because everybody will be in different parts of the world. So, and feel free, as always, if you're stitching these, to let me know if you have any questions, if you want a temperature range that's enough different from the ones I provide that you don't think it'll work really great for you. I can send you a custom range. Or if you have any other questions, just feel free to ask. Yay! That's fun. I'm so excited that all of you won. I will now go into my January plans, so if you don't care about that, feel free to say goodbye and Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the new year. Going forward into January, if you're watching me, you might like planning because I know I do this a lot. So this is my January that I had. I put this together a couple months ago, probably, and haven't touched it since. But I was looking back at it, and I think it's likely that I'll get to these, or that I still am interested in working on these. So what my plan was, there's a Full Coverage Fanatics group on Facebook. That's the main leader is Ann P. And I really like all of the monthly themes that she chose for 2019. And so what I thought I would do is just put the theme here and then use that theme to kind of help shape my choices in all of my projects for that month. And kind of the idea that I had going into this was a 3-day rotation on most things and a double rotation on Waterfall in Yosemite to try to get a focus on finish for that. Since January has an extra day, I put 7 days on that one, but potentially I could do something else with that extra day. My family stitching are the things that I have one day a month on the specific dates that go with that person's birthday. I have 6 of those, so that takes up 2 rotations of 3 days with 1 day each on those, and I will show you those. And then I want to do at least one fancy lady, so I have Winter Queen, which goes with being January and being, hopefully you can read this. It looks backwards to me, but I'm hoping when you see it, it will be right. January is a big winter month for Northern Hemisphere, and their theme was cozy. So I thought I would do wintry things or cozy things. So Winter Queen for Fancy Lady, Stitcher's Retreat for my Haid, because that seems cozy. A Golden Kite, I'll do Knitting Woman. I thought I'd do one of each of my 2 main full coverage brands, and then do an other, which could be a different brand altogether, or just another of this, either one of those, whichever I want to do another one of. So this one I chose my needlepoint, Friends in the Library, because kitties sleeping with books is kind of cozy. An other, I chose Winter Wonderland, my Chatelaine, because that's a very wintry one. Got to do that in January. And then I always have a category here for old, so my oldest whip is Midsummer Roses, should give that some love. And then my focus piece would be Waterfall in Yosemite. So that's kind of my plan for every month, is to use these categories and use this theme to kind of help fill up the categories. And then the family ones will stay the same. The focus whip will stay the same. And the old one will probably, I don't remember what I was doing. If I was doing Midsummer Roses until it's done, or if I was rotating through a few different old ones. So I could go either way on that one. So what I thought I would do is show you all of these, because I don't know exactly what order I'll be doing them in. Touchdown and Simpsons will be done pretty close. They'll be done the first and the second if I'm doing them the way I have been. So, and then, so you'll see those right away, or you'll see those for sure. I should be working on those for sure before I see you again. The rest of these, I don't know exactly when they'll be plugged in. So I'll just show you everything. And, maybe get this here so I remember what to show you. So I brought everything along. So first off, I'll do my family whips, which I have mine, which is my Nora Corbett S Fairy, and I think she's this one. This is where she is right now. I would probably work more on her wing or the S. I think I'm going to change her eye. I did a complete color conversion on this, and I chose a darker shade for her eye, and I think I'd rather do this color that I backstitched her arms and maybe just do a 2-strand, because her eye just sticks out too much. I don't know. I think I'll fix that. At first I'm like, it's okay. I think I'll leave it, and I didn't really like it, but it didn't bug me that much, but it's continuing to stick out and bug me, so I think I will be fixing that. Shouldn't be too hard. The other one is my other fairy for my niece, the letter H. She won't be till later in the month, but I'll just show you all of January just because it's fun. here's where she is right now, and she needs a little bit of frogging right here, which will probably frog all of her arm as well because it's all the same thread, and restitch her arm and start on her dress might be what I do next time. That won't be till the end of January, but based on when her birthday falls, the birthday date, corresponding date, so you'll see me before then, Lord willing. My husband's piece is The Simpsons, and I'm doing this on itty bitty little 40 count vertical, 1/1 half stitches. So that's where Homer is right now. It looks like my needle came off, so that's where that is. We'll see, maybe I can get this all done in a half hour. Hee hee. Easier to edit that way. And what else? I've got my middle son's Teresa Wentzler Dragon Ride that I'm working on. This is where this is right now. I'll probably work more on this color to get that color finished. I don't know that I'll be able to finish it in one day, but that's probably what I'll continue on with. And then my other son's piece is Touchdown, this one right here, that I'm converting. And this is where this is. Got the top half of John Elway finished, and the head started on Charles Woodson, and I need to rechart his number and do some more stitching on him. So that will be the second, ideally, will be this one. So hopefully, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll either stitch areas that I don't have to affect the recharting of the number on the jersey, or I might just spend some time charting and hopefully have some time to stitch too. So we'll see on that one. Because my daughter's piece was filling up one of those spots, it's the Snow Queen, and hopefully the Snow Queen will be done before the end of the year. So what I was thinking, I don't necessarily have another piece that's for her. There's a lot of pieces that I have that she likes because we have similar taste in very girly things. But I thought instead it would be better to pick another piece that is technically for somebody when it is finished. So I thought I would pick out Quick Stitch Iris by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a crop from a Josephine Wall design, and this is going to be for my aunt if I ever get it finished. And so I thought I should give this some love at least one day every month. So this is what that looks like right now. This was a restart last year, I think, or this year. This is on 25 count. And over here is where I had started doing 2/1, and it was too thick for me, and I never wanted to work on it, so I restarted it 1/1, doing a diagonal method, and I really like it a lot better. So I am doing like cross country in diagonals, 1/1 on 25 count. So that's coming along, and I think I'm close to the start of the first iris, so that will be fun too, to be able to work on that. And that date, I believe, will be the 11th, to go along with my aunt's birthday. So those are the 6 pieces that I'll work on one day every month, so those will come out in January, if I'm continuing on with that idea. My fancy lady for January will be Winter Queen, because it is our winter. And she's a new start this past year, so there's not a lot done on her. So this is where she's at right now. I started in the middle and kind of meandered, worked my way up. There's some white in here too, and then up to her face. So I think what I'll do when I come back to her is work on her face. Get her head done and, you know, crown and start working down. So that will be very fun to work on. And I get a lot of comments about my, as I'm rolling this up forever, about my fabric being very smooth, and that's because I store it in rolls and I stitch on it in a roll. I hold it in my hand and use like the poke and pull method from just holding it in my hand while it's in a roll. I have a video back at the very beginning of my channel of demonstrating how I do that. But that's how things stay fairly smooth. There goes Kitty. Because I don't use any frames or hoops that will crinkle it, and I don't wad it up in my hand while I'm stitching in hand. I like to see it smooth, and so this is a nice method for me that I've been using for years and years and years that keeps it smooth and also helps stabilize the fabric a little bit while I'm stitching, with having it the roll, and I'm stitching close to the roll. So that's my that's how they stay nice and smooth. And the tubes I use are a variety of old packaging tubes where you would get your fabric in the store, old wrapping paper tubes, or homemade out of like cardstock and Post-it notes and tape. So really it's like a variety of things. So my Heaven and Earth designs I chose for this cozy theme would be my Stitcher's Retreat, which I recently worked on. So I am working on the dark brown. I'll leave that up there. On this one. But this says cozy to me. Two ladies stitching in a dark lamplit room. So here's that now, and that's extreme cross country over the whole piece, and currently I'm working on the color that has the most stitches so that I can kind of have a framework for less counting in the future, and then I may go like work on other colors that are more exciting once I have that framework done. So that's kind of the plan with that one. My golden kite piece I thought would be Knitting Woman, because this is rather cozy as well. A mom and a girl and a cat while she's knitting. And this one will be for my mom. So this is another contender that I had thought about. There's my Christmas lights on my tree. Another contender for the daily stitching, but since I've made my mom a lot of things over the years, I figured I better focus more on the piece for my aunt. So my mom knows I'm working on this, and she also knows it may take me forever to finish it, but it's not a surprise. So this is what that looks like right now. Doing this 2/1 half stitches on 22 count. The coverage is not great, but the finished piece, especially if you look at it a little far away, is not too bad. So it goes fairly quickly because they're half stitches, and that's how far I am now. The top row is finished, so I'm working on the second row in more of a cross-country style. But I'm like picking colors from this side as I'm going, but I'll use the color until it's done, kind of thing. No parking on this one. I use a variety of techniques, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So the other full coverage piece I thought I would work on was my Friends of the Library needlepoint, which came out during Arbitrary August. I had thought maybe this one would be a give up, because I wasn't sure how it was working and how the chart would be, but it turned out the chart is fairly easy to read, easy to count. So I thought, you know what, I can go ahead and do that. It's a lot different than fabric. So this is where that is now. It's on a big piece of printed canvas. And I started at the bottom for some reason with this book. And then in Arbitrary August I worked on the dark gray or black or whatever. I think it's dark gray. To like kind of get a framework going for counting. And I would like to finish it, you know, like fill in these colors first, you know, and kind of finish it and work up, I guess. I kind of wish I would have started at the top so I could work down, but because that's how I usually like to work. but I don't know that I want to count up and risk it being wrong by the time I get back down to the bottom, so I might just stick with the bottom up technique and roll with it. So, and my other piece, which is not full coverage, would be Winter Wonderland Band Sampler by the Chatelaine, because that's nice and wintry, and whoever's in those houses is probably pretty cozy. This is where that's at right now. This is on 32 count ice blue linen by Zweigart. And I'm working on this scene right here, doing the trees and the houses. Got to get all that stuff finished before I can work on the cute little animals. So that would be what I would work on, is that scene. And then my old piece is my oldest whip from when I was in high school. Yeah, I think it was high school. Is Midsummer Roses by Paula Vaughn. And this is what that looks like now. I did all of this, a while ago, and so now I'm extreme cross country color completing the rest of the way. It's not really extreme because it's a small piece, but I'm doing color completing from here on forward because it kind of feels a little bit more like it's getting finished when you are completely done with the color and you know that color is finished. Like, it's kind of a nice goal to keep me motivated to keep going. So I believe the yellow flowers are done except for their back stitching, and I'm working on the pink flowers right now. So, and then there's lots of greenery and wall and fence and things like that. So, and back stitching. As you know, with Paula Vaughn, there's a lot of back stitching. And then my last piece that I will be focusing on, or that I will be working on in January, I believe I still want to do this, is a focus piece for Waterfall in Yosemite. This is by Golden Kite, and I would like to give this a double rotation every month to try to get it done. I was a little discouraged when I realized that it will, even if I work on it even if I do like a page a month, which is a little faster than my normal speed on things, it would still take me like 3 years to finish this. So that's a little discouraging, maybe even more, maybe like 4 or 5, but progress is progress, and I do want this up on my wall at some point, so I might as well put some time into it. So it's going to get 6 or 7 days in January, and this is where that is now. This is on 18 count Aida 2/1 stitches. I had been parking, and I have done column parking, I've done diagonal parking, I've stitched in all the diagonals threads because I decided I didn't want to park anymore, at least in the sky. So I think I'm still working on stitching in the threads at this point. You can see the color on the dark rocks a little bit better when I angle it like that. The sun keeps going back and forth behind the clouds. So that's Waterfall in Yosemite. It would be really, really nice to finish that top row sooner than later. Finish out the sky on that top row, because the second row is where things start happening, because we've got more rocks and the start of this cliff with the waterfall and everything. So it's just fun when I have like this big gap in here. Like, that's the kind of thing that I'm like, let's fill in the gap. So let's get that done. So that'll be my focus for this coming year, is to work on closing the gap and then starting row 2. So that is my plan going forward. I never got a chance to do like a plan with me video for January, just because, or for the year, because I just haven't had a lot of time available for that sort of thing. I don't have all the months planned out. I believe I have January or February and March also picked with all of these things, but the rest of the year I haven't done yet. And it might be fine just to leave it like that and not to be over eager, because I could have a change of heart, as I'm going and want to redo things, and then any planning time I put into it would just be wasted. So That being said, if I get a planning bug, I might just go in and plan the whole year and then just change it later because, you know, that's what I do. That's how I roll. But at this point, I have the first 3 months kind of chosen, and I like that idea. We'll see how I like it, if I want to adjust it to maybe a 4 or 5 day rotation instead of 3 and take out some projects. But my goal this year coming up is not necessarily to have a lot of finishes. It's more just to work on all of my things. And I have a lot of projects. So I should probably keep track of when I'm plugging things in, because it would be nice to touch everything in 2019. And I realized when I finished my 2 Christmas pieces recently, that finishing things makes me want to start things. So since I'm not allowing myself to start in 2019, I don't necessarily want to finish things. So I'm sure I will finish a few of the smaller things, but I think more likely I will be just playing with all of my projects throughout the year, and then if something is close to a finish, I might do more of a focus on that in December to try to bank up a couple finishes to be able to start something in the new year, which of course I will be recording things. So that's kind of my plan, to just love on all of my projects. I had an idea at one point to focus on Stargazer by Mirabilia this coming year as my fancy lady to focus on, because she's kind of on the small side as far as Mirabilias go. But I also don't want to neglect my other ones. So we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fun just to have like a whole year of playing with my whips and stitching on all my projects and enjoying them for the reasons I started them, and thinking of the people I'm making them for and the people they remind me of, and working on the themes with the full coverage people. And I think that's going to be the joy of this coming year. So if you have plans for 2019, feel free to share them. And I am 3 weeks behind on Flosstube. I'm so far behind that the app on my phone is cutting off videos that I haven't watched yet in the feed, my subscription feed. So to go to the internet or go to my computer to like find them so I can watch them, because they're dropping off the bottom of the list, because I guess they max out at a certain amount. Who knew? Never been this far behind before. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get caught up on that. I feel really bad. I'm missing out on so much that you guys are doing. But it is what it is, and I will hopefully come back and dig my way back out of that hole and enjoy your videos as well. In the meantime, the 4 winners, please contact me and I will get you your charts, and we can all start doing some temperature stitching in the new year. So that'll be fun too. In the meantime, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Lots of fun with your family and friends, and lots of stitching. And I will talk to you later. Merry Christmas. Bye.